I'm tired of seeing pastors wear designer. I'm tired of it. I'm sorry. Call me a hater. Call me a hater. I'm tired of seeing them rocking their Italian garments up on the stage, looking down at the people while they are barely able to pay their bills. Call me what you want to call me. I do not care. It just doesn't seem right. Something about it seems off. I don't want to see a pastor in Gucci. I don't want to see a pastor in Louis Vuitton. I don't. I do not. If your whole congregation is not able to afford those things, or let alone pay their bills, what makes you think that it's a good look? Like, read the room. These people are struggling out here, and you're the only hope that they have sometimes in that week. And to see that they can't pay their bills, and they look up at you and you got your Louis Vuitton on, talking about how it's bad to give to the poor, it's just disgusting.
I found this conversation happening on another channel, and I thought I would come over here and bring it to you so we could talk about it. Now, I have discussed what the women should be wearing to church, and that video did really great. But what about the pastors who are in the pulpit? Do you think that they should be wearing luxury items? Well, we're going to get into it because I have some clips I want to show you. And I want you to get an idea of how much these luxury items cost. Okay, so before we get into the clips, do me a favor. Like this video, because you're not the only one who needs to see it and wants to join the conversation. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now let's go.
I was watching ESPN and I'm watching LeBron James. And he put his hand up like that and he had a white watch on. I went, oh, that look good on a black man. Wonder if that look good on a white man. I like that watch. So I got out my room. I went down to Kalakaua Avenue to the Chanel place. You know where it's at. Yeah. Y'all were there. And Jerry and Karen was there. So Kathy calls me. I said, listen, I just watching ESPN and I saw LeBron James. He had a white watch. He said, we sold it to him. I said, you did? Yeah. I said, do you have another one? I want one exactly like that. He said, yes, we do. I said, okay. So Martin, and they fit me and they put it on all that kind of stuff. And I like it, you know. So I'm saying, all of a sudden I get a phone call. Guy said, what are you doing? I said, I'm at the Chanel store. You are at the Chanel store? What are you doing? I said, I saw LeBron James. I got to tell the whole story. I saw LeBron James on ESPN, and he held his arm and he had a white watch, so I decided to buy it. And the man sold it to him, so I got one.
Why do you need a $54 million private jet?
We're not doing any kind of interviews right now. I'm in a book.
I just like to know why you need keep your hands off me. Why are your people touching me like this?
This is very subtle from your usual LV.
LV for Instagram because I'm black, but if I'm going to important things, it's got to be this. So for black people, I wear LV. It's called my commitment to the community.
What do you have to say to the people that say that as a pastor you shouldn't be this flashy?
I will tell them that when their family members become pastors, they should dress their family members up. My family, my people love the way I dress. So as a pastor, they should tell their pastor not to dress like that. And when their family members become pastors, they should tell them how to dress. And guess what? We will clap for them. This is what we chose. My people love it, and they should love it too, and probably contribute more money for me to get more.
Fair enough.
It's good for black people. It's a good representation.
Notice what these two pastors have in common. Besides the fact that they are a pastor preaching in the pulpit, they both like luxury items. Now, the reason I decided to highlight these two pastors first is for two things. I see a lot of times where people believe that luxury items are only shown off by pastors who are black, African American. And then I've also seen people who like to point out that pastors in the United States are the only ones who are acting like a fool, who do clownish stuff in the pulpit. Things like this to me are clownish. And that's also not true. Now, yes, while Jesse Duplantis is from the United States of America, Pastor Toby is from the UK. So it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It matters about the type of person that you are. Do you want the focus to be on you, or do you want the focus to be on Jesus?
It's an epidemic of passive and soft men. Brother won't even approach you, won't talk to you, won't pay for nothing, won't do nothing. We have women who are so INDEP. You so independent. Hard work bought this Gucci. I done sold everything but booty.
When did I start playing small? When did this depression and anxiety take over my life? This is the promise, but it comes with condition. It says we will reap. That's God's part.
God's favorite child. The one who is blessed over and over.
I wanted to point out some of your faves. Well, maybe not your fave, but there are a lot of people who know who Real Talk Kim is, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, Bishop William Murphy. I've talked about him this week, so you should know if you've been watching my videos. And then Pastor Mike Todd, he's known all over because he's always very, very fashionable. And this is just to name a few. There are so many other pastors who like to dress up and wear luxury items into the pulpit. And I still raise the question of, do you think this is something that they should do, or should it be left to when they're not at church, when they're not in the pulpit? Now, I'm not trying to, tell anybody what they should wear out the house, but sometimes I feel like they can be real, real loud, especially the ones like Keon Henderson, where they have to film themselves or have somebody recording them the moment that they step out of the car, and they have to show what they're wearing head to toe. Does that keep the focus on the Lord, or is this bringing more focus to what you have on? Because while we all like nice things, I think on a Sunday morning when we getting ready to go to church, our focus needs to be on the Lord. But that's my take on it. I want to show you how much some of these things cost. So why don't you take a look at those clips with me, and then we'll discuss more. Now, I'm not one to pocket watch because I don't want anybody watching my pockets, but I'm also not one to ask for money for things that I should have been able to buy myself if I would not have bought the expensive watch, the expensive purse, the expensive outfit or shoes. That's just my take. Now, when there's something that I need to do for my household, if I was getting ready to purchase new windows for my house or put a new roof on my house, you know what I do? I don't buy expensive items. So for me, I just think that when a pastor is asking someone to give extra money because they can't pay all of the money for their conference, or they need a sign for church, or they need something in the building that they're trying to build out, I have a problem with that. If you're going to walk on that stage, I mean, in that pulpit with all of your luxury items on, and I know that you probably spent a bag on that whole outfit. And now you're asking me to help with the children's ministry because you guys need to build an extra room. Like, you could have built an extra room for $10,000 or 15 grand. I mean, seriously. So that would be my issue when it comes to all of the luxury items, as well as taking the focus off of what we are truly going to church for. On Sundays, we should be on our face, our hands and our knees, praising the Lord, and not focused on what you have on and ooh and ah and oohing and ahhing because the pastor wore Louis today. And oh my God, did you see Pastor and First Lady? They was sharp. Like, none of that should matter. It should be like, the Lord delivered me today from something that I was dealing with. That's where the focus should be. But people have blamed the ones in the congregation for focusing on the luxury items instead of God. How could you miss it? We're like not blind. We can see it. It's clear as day. And so I think that for me, I personally prefer that those things are brought down a little bit. If you want to wear a belt or some shoes, but all of the labels all over the clothes can be a big distraction. And that's just how I feel. But I would like to know how you feel. So drop your opinion or comment below, because that's what I'm here for.